All right, back again. Sorry, technical difficulties with the Zoom. We do this podcast through Zoom, so I have a time limit, and now we're unlimited on time. So, hey, we if you saw part one, this is technically part two, but it's all the same. Our first live. So I want to remind. First off, thank everybody once again for
Yeah,
tuning in. We really, 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 really appreciate it.
appreciate that love and
Um,
support.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Whether you're a Panthers fan, you're not a Panthers fan, if you're looking and watching, we really, really appreciate it, man. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Donnie Anthony Show. Twitter and Instagram, both the same handle at Donnie Anthony Show. And we're watching on YouTube right now, the Donnie Anthony Show. Share it with your friends, share it all around. So, hey, you guys can go ahead and call in. That is the number right there. All you got to do is call. Um, tell me who you are, where you're from, and hey, you can pretty much talk about whatever. You know, talk about anything to do with the Panthers. And remember the topics we talked about today, which was Cam's future with the team, Matt Rhule's year three, the team needs the good, the bad, the ugly. That number right there on the bottom of your screen is 910-912-7545. If you call in and you get sent a voicemail, call back later when no one's on the phone with us because we're still trying to figure that out, the logistics and the technical part of that, of if we have multiple people call in. So once I get that figured out, we can have a waiting room for those trying to call in. We're still trying to figure it out through Zoom. I'm talking back and forth to Zoom. So forgive me for not having my stuff up to date, for not being. But yeah, anywho. But yeah, it's also another thing. The voice of the Panthers, his name is Big Mixon. He's a North Carolina Tar Heel. He used to be a voice of the Tar Heels, and he was been with the Panthers for. You remember how many years he's been with the Panthers? Play
Mick's
by
been there
play.
for over 20 years, man. I want to
Yeah, I
say,
think I
yeah,
think the whole time, right? Yeah, and
he's been there for a minute.
yeah, today was his last game in Tampa, announcing play by play for the Panthers. Mike Mixon, heck of a storyteller.
Legend,
I'd
legend.
almost rather listen to it on the radio, just because of how he describes everything. You can, it's almost like the book is better than the movie type of thing.
Absolutely,
You
man. Absolutely,
know,
absolutely,
when
absolutely.
you read the book, it's like, man, the book was so much better than the movie. The radio is so much better than looking at the game. Of course, watching, I kind of kid, but of
Yeah.
course, I'd rather watch just because you see
I
your
was,
favorite players.
I was
But
going to say, yeah. My fault. I
go
didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say
ahead.
that he's really good at when I was going to and from Western Carolina, like ride back to Western Carolina. Obviously, you don't want to have your phone watching the game while driving, but I would find and tune into the radio station where they were broadcasting um, the sounds of the game, and like Nick did a really good job of like, you know what I'm saying, making you think that you're actually there. He
Yes,
described what
for
Cam was
sure.
wearing. He
Yeah.
described the look on the coach's face.
Yep.
Described the formation we were in. Man, he was just
Yeah.
really good at just helping you get the image of the game when you're not there. And
And a lot of Southern
we're gonna miss
slang.
that. Absolutely. Oh, gotta love it. Southern catchphrases. Remind me a lot about my
Yeah.
grandma. Rest in peace, grandma. Longtime
Yeah.
Panthers fan.
Sure.
Yeah, it was. But no, I really enjoy listening to him, and I really wish there was a way I could subscribe to watching the game and like hearing his audio while watching the game,
Yeah, for sure.
just his audio only. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's that's one thing I would gripe about the Panthers. It was hard. I don't know how. Maybe it's a licensing issue or something, but it's tough to find past games uh, of his. I've always wanted to go back and listen to old games. I wonder how it was like during the
Oh
Super
yeah.
Bowl. But yeah, he was a North Carolina legend, and it's going to be hard to replace. It was always Jordan Gross, who's
Jordan Rose. Yep.
the offensive lineman for us, one of the greatest Panthers of all time, and Jake Delhomme, who
Yes,
took us
sir.
to our first Super Bowl, who was always his color commentary with him, and they. Jake could even be the next guy. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll have to see. He's a pretty good color guy, so he may stay at color commentary. But yeah, he did great. Jake did great. Mick Mixon will be missed for sure. I hope
He's one of
they.
those guys that have the rare. Good, yeah, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, for sure. No, but I hope they the booth that he sat in and called the games. I hope they name it after him or name a
Absolutely,
something
got
after
to,
him.
man. You got to.
So,
I would have said one of my favorite calls from him was that Seattle Seahawks game where we went to Seattle when he came through that game with touchdown to Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a really really good one.
Yeah.
Really really good one.
But before
Don't
the
miss that
game,
guy, man.
for sure. Before the game, me and Donnie listened to a call of his before today's game against Tampa. Of course, Carolina not having a great year. Tampa having a phenomenal year. Maybe even Super Bowl champs again. He his opening statement was about David and Goliath, and the way he just described the what the Panthers have to do, just like David and Goliath. You got this giant little guy. He was talking about how the slingshot was ready, and the Panthers have a chance. Yeah, so that was a great way to open the game, and it made you think, oh man, Panthers got a chance just because of what he was saying.
Yeah, just what he said. Yeah, moving man with his words. Yeah,
Yeah.
move mountains
So
with his words. Yeah.
yeah. Soon I plan on, or we plan on posting on our social medias maybe a couple clips. I have some together. I want to post some clips of his introductions and different games I recorded over my phone and stuff, and give him a shout out. So Mick Mixon, the longtime voice of the Carolina Panthers, always will be a Panther, uh, and maybe they'll bring him back like as a special guest host sometime, like they do with Jim Ross and WWE.
Yeah, I would love that, man. He's just, I hate to see him go, man, just because he's just been the voice and the heart of us, man. It's like I said, he's been announcing since I was like almost in diapers. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And
true legend behind the mic for sure.
yeah, yeah. Me and Donnie have an inside joke. He says he calls him my dad because he actually looks like my dad. So, and I've never noticed that. He said, "Oh, your dad's retiring." I said, "What do you mean my dad's retiring?" He said, "Mick Mixon." I was like, I thought about it. I said, "Man, my dad does look like Mick Mixon." Yeah, so.
It does. That's a compliment, Mr. Chris. There's no shot. There's no
Yeah.
see you tomorrow. There's nothing like that. No, it's that is your twin, which is a compliment. Mick Mixon is the man.
Yeah,
I want
for
him preaching.
sure.
I want him preaching at my funeral. If I don't last as long as he does.
Yeah. We got Sam Goshorn in the chat. He asked, with the quarterback position being a bit lackluster within the next couple of drafts, what would you guys do as far as trading pieces to get that franchise quarterback the Panthers need? I appreciate the question, man.
Good question, Mr. Golfers, my man, long time best friend, my man.
Yeah, we know him for a while. He's a Saints fan. Hey, do we know yet if they've made the playoffs, the Saints? Or is there still things need to happen yet?
Now, yeah, that I'm not sure of. Because as soon as our game, I think that's a good question, man.
I think a couple things had to happen for the Saints to get in.
Yeah. That's a good question. Can you read back what he said?
With the quarterback position being a bit lackluster within the next couple of drafts, what would you guys do as far as trading pieces to get franchise quarterback in the Panthers need? Basically, what would we do to get our next quarterback? What would you do?
A lot of it is going to entail on what we can do with Christian McCaffrey. And let me make this clear, okay? I love Christian McCaffrey. He's one of my all-time favorite players. He's definitely my top 10 favorite players. Been an extraordinary talent for us. Unfortunately, he's just, he has not been healthy. Very productive when healthy, but I think that we could still get a lot of draft, picks for him. I think someone would be willing to bite the bait, bite the apple, whatever you want to say, and I think we could get a first-round draft pick if that man Scott can get on that phone, talk like he's been talking.
Our general manager.
Lack of a better terms. But yeah, man, I think that's a good question though, because in the upcoming draft, especially this year, I mean, it's only about 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and I'm like, hey, let's go get that guy if he's there. But unfortunately, in our situation, we're gonna have to. There's 2 things. Number one, with Evan Hill being there, if he's there available at the 6th pick, we have to go get him. That is a franchise guy. He's going to be our next Jordan Gross, if not better. He's explosive. I go on days about how great he is. I say we go get Neil, and unfortunately, Cal, we picked up our 5th-year option with Sam Darnold. I think that's like $18 million thing. It's our pee-infested bed that we chose to lay in. So we're going to have to go get that offensive tackle, and we're going to have to let Sam Darnold play out this last year unless we can make something happen.
For sure.
it's going to be tough to tell just because I'm not sure what what Scott Fitter is talking about, and what Matt Rhule is talking about. I don't know if the conversation is like, hey, you're going to get a great offensive coordinator, and you're going to go get the franchise quarterback in this draft. I'm not sure how patient or how lenient they're going to be. So that's a great question. That's going to take about maybe a few weeks or maybe even to a month or two to figure out what they're talking about behind closed doors. But that's a great question.
Yeah.
Great question.
Fixing offensive line is the biggest thing first, and maybe Sam Darnold will play better.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. Because there's times where I'm like, and then there's times where I'm like, so, I say even sign Cam one more year to
absolutely
for those goal line type situations. We'll see what happens in off season with a full off season with the one team.
Yeah.
And just to have PJ Walker can walk like his last name. And he can be a walker.
Talk about Matt Rhule's best buddy like that.
Yeah. So and then see with a better line, see what really happens. Because I'll be fair, if the offensive line, because what I can't sit here and say is, well, Donald's not that good, and then we got to give. But and then something happens with Cam, we say, well, the offensive line, and it's offensive line for both of them. I think at the end of the day. But there has been times where Sam has made bad plays and Cam has made bad plays.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the offensive line certainly does help. Fix offensive line, keep them to, again, another year, and then the following year, see what happens. It's a little bit of a long-term it's a little bit of a long-term plan, another year, really, but hey, what the heck.
Yeah, for sure. Now I was going to follow you up. I think that we should resign Cam. I mean, nothing's gonna hurt, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, Sam Darnold's coming back for another year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're underneath some quarterback competition for the guy. I mean, PJ Walker. But I think, if I'm being realistic, I think PJ Walker's going to be back before Cam's going to be back. But
probably.
I think keep Cam. I mean, like I said, put Cam on his offensive line, and if Cam's play starts to slip and fall, hey, put back in Sam Darnold, and we can start assessing whether or not we can move forward. Especially with Sam Darnold, because Cam's 32 is going to be 33. It's fair, okay. I can't say we're going to build with Cam. We obviously have to build with someone younger, but we can still be competitive if we get the right offensive piece on that line.
Yeah, for sure. Sam did, or Cal, I'm looking at his name. Cal did say we didn't. The 49ers won on a last second crazy play, so the Saints did not make it in. Isaiah Hooley, I saw him earlier say he's repping for
That's the man.
I appreciate it, man. He said, would y'all like Barkley for a first and fifth round pick?
Absolutely. Look, KP, you and I have had this talk many times, man. Our team is in the same boat as your team. Like we try to build around a running back, and I'm not trying to speak on past tense, like remove Chris is already gone, but likely if the right offer comes around, we're gonna get rid of him. I think so, unfortunately. But KP and I have had this conversation. KP, me and Isaiah. KP and I have had the conversation before. Like, it's so hard to build around a running back because you're wanting them to stay durable. And you're trying to put pieces around them, right? Yeah, man. I think in the league has shown that you don't need top-tier guys at running back to be successful. Yeah. I mean, there's some great teams out there that have dual running back systems, like Cal Saints with Kamara and Mark Ingram. Because, now no one really knew Alvin Kamara was coming out of college, right? He's a very talented guy, but you don't need like two superstar running backs. You just need two good running backs that can, like, for instance, we have Amir Abdullah. I think he's very underrated, Anthony. I think Amir Abdullah is a great player. He's not all pro, but he can catch the ball. He runs hard, runs very hard. I like that. And we got Chuba Hubbard, man. So I say we get what we can out of Christian McCaffrey, and the reason why I say that is because, like I said, after round one, we have nothing until round four. And with the team needing the kind of things that we need, we can't sit around and wait. We can't, man. We got to make a move. So
you're talking about Abdullah. He had on the year, he had 37 attempts for 110 yards. That's a 3-yard average.
He did come like midway, about halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And I think they were trying to bounce back with Christian McCaffrey. I think he was signed as an emergency running back. He was actually signed as a kick returner.
Yeah, he did return
Yeah,
some kicks.
yeah. But I'm like I said, I'm not saying he's the guy, but I think he is a very good running back, very solid running back that can help fit that need.
He also
He can
had
catch the ball. I'm not saying he can catch. Oh, good. Sorry. Yeah, good,
well,
good,
yeah,
good.
that exactly what you were just talking about. He can catch the ball. He did have 26
Yeah,
receptions for 216
yeah,
and a
absolutely.
touchdown, and that doesn't count today
Productivity.
either. This was
Yeah,
last week too. So
he was great today. Him and Chuba Hubbard were phenomenal today. Like
yeah,
you
could they
can't.
be the new
I'm
smash
not
and
going to take that
dash?
away. Absolutely. No, absolutely. Now we can't. Now we're not physical, huge backs that are going to, physically impose some of these guys. But I think there's some productivity amongst those two. Now Mir, I think he's 28. He's getting kind of old for a running back. But the way he
Mm,
played this season, he looks very youthful. He's running hard. He can catch the ball. Like I said, man, whatever we can get for Christian McCaffrey, if it's high value, we'll have to go do it because we have too many needs to be sitting around, twiddling our thumbs for 2 rounds to not be
yeah,
doing anything.
yeah.
Sadly, that's just the boat we're in, man.
And reminder to people, you can call in the number below
Yeah,
there.
call in if you want. Yeah,
You can talk with us and say whatever. Or if you just want to ask a question, hang up and we'll answer it. And you listen on your phone or
yeah,
whatnot, you can do that too. You can always call in, just ask a question, hang up, or listen to our answer on the
definitely,
phone and hang
definitely.
up. So if you're too nervous, I get it. If you're too nervous to call in, I get it. So, but yeah, please, yeah, call in and uh,
I enjoyed it. I can talk football for days,
yeah.
man.
Or if you even got something controversial to say, if you represent another team and want to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that's fine. I know we are aware there's an NFL. We are aware, and we're very aware that the Panthers are not good. So you don't have to come in here and scream Panthers suck. We know. You're not telling
yeah.
us nothing
We see
new.
firsthand every Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. So and there's a lot of things that need to be done. We know.
Also, Anthony, let me ask you this while we're waiting on somebody. Justin Herbert from the Chargers, right?
Chargers. Yeah.
There was a little bit of, I guess you could say, friction. This happened right before COVID hit. Marty Herney was flying out to go talk to Justin Herbert. And I think Marty Herney wanted to sign Herbert. But I think Matt Rhule kind of like said, hey, nah, we need to address the deep acquisition. How would you have felt? This is all hypotheticals and what ifs, one of those high school stories. Oh, I used to be like this, kind of Uncle at the cookout. Boy, your uncle used to throw football like this, whatever.
I used to throw football over the
Looking
mountains.
at that pick, we really could have got that guy, man. He's looking like a really good acquisition for the Chargers. Also, while we're also waiting, I want to ask you, Deshaun Watson. Hey, if we can get Christian McCaffrey for Deshaun Watson, are you all in? You all in?
Yeah. So the Hubert thing, would he have been in the same spot Sam Darnold's in? Would he have been playing behind a bad offensive line? Probably. And not have done he probably would have made some more plays. He is pretty good, but the offensive lines is so bad we could have had Tom
It
Brady
is.
out.
No, it is.
I don't know if anything could have made much of a difference. Um, it's even amazing what little bit Cam was able to do. I know that just maybe just blew people's minds of me just saying that because to 90% of the audience probably Cam is probably the single biggest problem ever. Whatever, we'll save that
Yeah.
for another show. And the next one, I did I did see that I think 18 of the 22 cases that Deshaun Watson, he's got some
They're settled.
legal stuff right now. Yeah, they're settled.
Yeah.
So if we finish them up, if that gets finished up, this is bad to say, and I probably shouldn't say it, but of course I care for any kind of victim, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Could well that's a different case. I can't even say what I was thinking because it's a different case. But so, for example, because what was going through my mind was the whole Kaepernick thing. I didn't think that should have
Yeah.
let anyone be like, I don't want to sign him with so much going on. Yeah,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
just sign him, and
Whatever happened to innocent to
yeah,
proven guilty.
yeah. So, but I would like Watson to be on the team, but
Yeah.
again, it goes back to that offensive
It's
line.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could sign anybody. And Brady could like, you know, just to give myself a challenge, I'm gonna go play for the Panthers. Like, well, guess you're not winning any Super Bowls. Um, but then again,
Fair enough.
I don't know. Freaking Tom Brady, that dude, God,
Well, I'm
knows how to
going.
do it.
Another reason why I'm kind of on the edge about Matt Rhule. It's kind of a vent session. I mean, if you don't mind, until we get someone that I guess you could say kind of spark the flame. I think one thing that kind of, if you think about it, Anthony, let's just think into what could have been. We let James Bradbury go in free agency, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, we let him go in free agency. We get Derrick Brown. Okay. Well, just think about it. If we would have kept James Bradbury, we wouldn't have to get J.C. Horn, which I love J.C. Horn. I love the pick. I love the pick when we first got him. But just think, if we didn't let go of our corner and paid him, we could be sitting on one of these top guys right now in the league, you know. But that's all hypothetical. I just know Matt Rhule has a lot of say so, and I just pray that he makes the right decisions going forward because this draft right here is probably going to be the biggest. It's going to be the biggest in franchise history when I say this because this has probably been the worst we've been. Not probably. This is the worst we've been since I think our establishment.
Yeah, for sure.
So
looks like
this draft is going.
KP asks, if y'all were to draft a QB in 2022, who would y'all be willing to possibly give a chance?
It's tough, man. The two right now that pop out to me are Corral and Pickett. I like Willis out of Liberty. I think Willis goes Liberty. He's very explosive, but I think with the way Matt Rhule is trying to, have this offense, he wants to run the ball 30 times a game. That was his last philosophy where he's come out and said it. Seems like it's kind of like a game manager type gig, right? I mean, you run the ball 30 times a game, you want to dominate the game and control the pace. It's either going to be Kenny Pickett or Matt Corral. Because, let's be honest, man, this draft isn't just, full of quarterback talent. A lot of these guys, this is their first year really in the limelight, showing out. Sometimes that can get you in trouble. It happened with Jimmy Clausen. So KP, if I have to be honest with you, man, I had to say Pickett or Corral, but I want to play it safe and go Evan Neal off. We have to go offensive line, man. We have to. And just kind of see what Sam Darnold can do, man. That's, like I said, it's the bed we chose to lay in. It's unfortunate because we kind of, and I'll admit, I was one of the guys that, got my lip hooked on the bait. Said, all right, hey, this guy is balling. He's our franchise. I jumped too early, so we picked up the fifth-year option. Now we're kind of in a financial situation where we have to let him play it out almost, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But those are my two that popped out on film for me. I'd say Corral and Pickett. A lot of people like Pickett, though. He can throw the ball. He wears two gloves, which kind of had me a little skeptical. I'm not a big two-glove guy. No shot at Teddy Bridgewater. Just not quarterbacks wearing gloves always kind of throw me off. Like, Cam didn't use gloves. I don't know, man. Some of the guys that can throw the ball don't use gloves.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers don't use gloves. I don't know. But that's all minimal compared. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my two.
In high school, I didn't wear, and I was on defense, and I was a corner and didn't wear gloves. I thought it was, and I want to
tape your fingers like Sean Taylor.
I feel like I can't, yeah, exactly, yeah. I wrapped my wrist one time, my whole football career, and I didn't like it. I felt like I couldn't move, but I didn't like it. But I want to be able to feel with my actual hands something,
Yeah,
I feel like I can't grab with gloves on. But in NFL, those quarterbacks throw so hard, you need a little bit of help. So I get it. I understand. But yeah, again, anyone call in and say stuff. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
right there. 910-912-7545. And hey, while you're watching, go subscribe to all our little channels. Now that we have officially started this whole show, there will be probably every Sunday. We won't go live. We'll have some sort of pre-recorded video, but we do want to go live maybe at least once a month, maybe every 5 weeks, 6 weeks or something. So always keep a lookout for the live stuff. Yeah, we're excited. Donnell
Shoot some questions.
Donnell says Abdullah looks somewhat promising for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I like I said, I like Abdullah, man. He plays with passion. He plays with passion, aggression. He, like I said, he can catch the ball. He was drafted like I think in 2014 out of Nebraska. Got drafted by the Lions, I want to say. Just didn't pan out, but right now the league is filled with his type of running backs, man. That can catch the ball and that can run. Yeah, I definitely like Mirabula. And I think that'll make things a little bit. I hate to say it. If Christian does go, that'll make things a little bit more easier to chew, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be easy. Getting I think Christian McCaffrey when healthy is a once in a generational kind of talent. I mean, he joined a league company by going 1,000. Only 3 players have done that, him being the third. He's just a specimen. He's an elite guy. Mir does look promising. Hey, another thing I meant to tell you, Anthony, linebackers. I think we should replace Jermaine Carter with my man Frankie Louvu.
Oh,
Frankie
yes.
Louvu needs to get some of the reps, man. Show him some love. Throw him out there, man. He plays with heart and passion. I love it.
Yeah.
We're losing. He's up there. Let's go. I like that.
Yeah. Louvu has stepped in at linebacker position a couple times. He's a backup linebacker. He's done a couple of different positions. On special teams, you can pretty much count 90% of the time he's got the tackle. But as we've seen in NFL, a lot of guys who were special teamers ended up being great starters. And I think one of the greatest special teamers turned starter was Edelman for the Patriots. I remember him being a special teamer, and then of course he ended up being great for the Patriots.
from the Vikings was one of the special teamers.
Yeah.
Special teams stud. Yeah.
Yeah, and technically Steve Smith he was a returner.
Yes, sir.
Then he ended up being the greatest Panther of all time. Yeah, probably in my opinion, either him
special teams is a very underrated facet of the game. It builds great players.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to have a good special team coach and leader.
Those end up being some great coaches too.
Yeah, for sure. That matters, for sure. But yeah, Abdullah, he could do a little something for us. But anytime we talk about any player on the offensive side of the ball, outside of the offensive lineman, but you can't really give him a fair breakdown because of just how bad offensive line is.
I think Tommy Tremble is another player that we can be happy about. I think Tommy's going to be a really good tight end for us. He might never be Greg Olsen, but he could be a solid guy. One of these guys that give you a 500 receiving yard season.
Yeah, sure.
From his position. One thing I want to see him work on though, which I'm no coach, but I don't like when he catches the ball. A lot of them are juggled. I've seen a lot of his passes being caught juggled.
Yeah,
kind of scares me a little bit, especially in tight situations. Tremble's really good. I'm thinking about guys that don't get a lot of. I hope we can retain DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore. I'm a DJ Moore guy. The play he made today, man, it was crazy. I mean, I think it was 3rd and 20. You remember? He hurdled someone to nearly get the first down.
Yeah, and that was all over social media, Panthers social media as well. Yeah, today he had 7 receptions for 87 yards. Is that today? Yeah, a 12.4 average, was just funny because that's his season average as well. So today's season average and today's average and his season average is 12.4. So he was targeted 10 times, caught 7 of them. So and his long was 20, a 20-yarder. So
Anthony, can I tell you my biggest fear?
what's that before we get into that? Looks like we might have a call here.
Okay.
Hey, Donnie, end the show. Who you be and where you calling from?
Donnell, man, what's up, man? We are here calling from the Ville, man. Just wanted to call you
Nelly.
Oh man,
let's go, Nelly. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Hey, look, Nelly shot us something, man. If we ever make it big, man, Nelly's got to get one of the first shout-outs. He posted this on his Facebook, man. He's showing love.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
The man.
Oh, for sure.
Hit us with it, Nelly.
Hey, loving what y'all doing, man. I just want to see, man, what's y'all opinion about Cam Newton, man? What y'all think about him? Why didn't they play him today? They should have threw him in on that red zone, man.
Anthony, you want it first? Or you want me to hop in, man?
Go ahead, sir.
Nelly, I'm gonna have an honest conversation with you, man. It's
Go
simply
ahead,
because
talk
it's
to me,
not.
man.
It's you know me, man. Hey, look, it's simply because it's not Matt Rule's guy. If you think about it, as soon as Matt Rule came in, boom, took Cam and threw him out the back door. Okay, I think a lot of it is Cam's presence, right? He demands a lot of attention, media attention. Cam is just this big persona, whether you love him or hate him. I think he overshadows. I think what it really is when he's on the field, it shows that Matt Rule's inability to coach at a high level is being exposed. And I think that, excuse me, I think it pisses Matt Rule off. I don't think he likes that. Because when a veteran can't go in there and succeed with this offense, he's like, all right, well, because we've had three quarterbacks, Donnell. I mean, we've had Teddy Bridgewater, we've had Sam Darnold, we've had Cam, we've had PJ. Guess what? None of them have been successful. So it just sheds a negative light on Matt Rule, and I just think that pisses Matt Rule off. So it's sad that he didn't get to play today, man. Breaks my heart as a longtime Carolina Panthers fan and him being one of my favorite players ever. I hope it's not his last step to Carolina, but it might be. But I think a lot of it is Matt Rule, and I don't think he's a supporter of Cam Newton. I think it was more of a upper management that got him in.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
for sure.
if he does stay head coach for you guys think you guys will end up cutting him this year?
Yeah, if Matt Rule comes in the year 3, I think we'll let Cam walk, man. I think that's how it's going to end. Sadly.
Yeah, it looks like it was Tepper's decision to bring Cam back because remember on social media the picture was with Tepper and Newton. It wasn't Matt Rule. It wasn't Matt Rule that went out there and got him. It was Tepper, and I think that was to maybe try to get some of the morale back because as you saw and the entire world, like Mick Mixon said, the Panthers play-by-play on the radio. I was listening to it. He said it feels like the entire world is watching, and they were, and that was the biggest keep pounding chant. The entire season was against Washington, which was Cam's first start back. Yeah. And so that was kind of a morale signing. But I think he also believed that Cam could do a little something. But again, I can't give anybody too much of a fair shake with the kind of offensive line play we had. Because I think, Donnie, is it 11 starting combinations we had this year?
Maybe more after today, man. Maybe like 12 or something after today.
Yeah, it might be 12 or 13. Yeah. So you can't have that many rotations, that many different starting lines.
Nelly, look, man, you're a baller. You know, if you go behind 11, 12 different offensive line combinations throughout the season, you're like, man, I don't know who I'm gonna be running behind, man. I don't know whose hand I'm gonna have to shake the damn meat for the first time.
Yeah.
Exactly. No chemistry, no nothing.
No, sir.
It's kind of hard.
Hey, but look, Nelly, tell me what you think, though, man.
Yeah,
tell me what you think about.
Yeah, tell me what you think. Sure.
Everything.
I mean, in my opinion, man, I feel Cam should get more touches, but I mean, it's not like he's running under Rivera anymore, so it's not like he can walk right back into Carolina.
Exactly. You're right, man. That's the point.
You know what I'm saying? He's running under a whole new guy, so that guy has to give him, you know what I'm saying, optimal chances as well to do the same things that Donnie was doing in the beginning of the season type. You know what I'm saying? But he still has to have that time to learn the playbook, learn the newer guys that he hasn't played with. But I mean, he had some of the weapons that he had a couple years ago when he was there, but it's still not the same. He hasn't had any of that offseason time with him, the training camp, summer camp. He hasn't had any of the time that Darnold and all the other ones have had. So I believe that he should get his fair chance this upcoming season if they don't cut him. So, and then like you said, they need to start recruiting some more linemen. I definitely think they need to go get another running back to replace C-Mac because if he leaves, like I said, Abdullah looks straight, but C-Mac irreplaceable. So we got to find.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, fair.
I was going to agree, man. Like I was telling everybody, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just buy C-Mac, but Donnell, we don't have a draft pick after the first round, man. Like I was telling Anthony earlier, I've almost hammered it to the ground, man. You cannot go 2 rounds without having a draft pick with as much team needs as we have, man. So if we can get the right price for Christian, man, we're going to have to get him up out of here, unfortunately, man. I'm going to miss him. He's a once-in-a-generational kind of talent, I think. But, I agree with everything you said about Cam. That was Ron's guy. Ron loved Cam. I think he actually would end up being, shipped off to Washington. Not shipped off, but signed with Washington if it went for the vaccine thing. But yeah, and if you look at it, man, we've had a lot of production with Cam just in this short stint. We've been able to get in the end zone. We've been able to get somewhat of an offensive production. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I agree with you, man. I appreciate someone actually seeing the good in Cam. I know he's a very hateable guy. For some people, not for me.
I've always been a Cam fan. I love Cam.
Oh yeah, no. If he's running for president, I'd be up there advocating for him, man. He'd get my vote.
For sure.
For sure. How's everything been there, Donnie? You been all right, man?
Everything been good, man. Like I said, I had some free time. Wanted to call you guys. I seen the number on the podcast while I was watching live, so I figured I'd call.
Yes,
Support, man.
I appreciate the love and support, man. I appreciate the love and support. It really does mean a lot, man. We're just trying to give y'all some good, clean, Carolina Panthers content, man. Not no NBC, not no ESPN, because they don't care about us, man. They don't care.
Small market.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? He said one day when y'all blow up and make it big, I'm gonna make a guest appearance on the podcast.
Let's go.
More than welcome.
It's all love down there. I really appreciate that, man. It means a lot, man. It means a lot, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all boys keep doing your thing, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. Keep it going. I'm gonna keep watching it live, though.
Down there, hey, look, before you go, man, give me a keep pounding, man.
Oh yeah. Make sure y'all keep watching the Donnie and Anthony show, man. Keep pounding.
Man, that is love there. Man. Really, really, really appreciate that. Man, the first ever caller, man. That's that's touching. He's got a special place in my heart there now. For sure. So, yeah, for sure.
The flying Hawaiian.
That's awesome, man. That's man, the whole time I was just smiling ear to ear. So man, that's a
great guy.
That's great. I really appreciate that call in. So I thought we might have escaped tonight without a call. But that's even just the one that made a difference, man. That's
means a lot, man.
Yeah, really appreciate it. We did have another. So Alec, I wasn't trying to ignore you. We were just in the middle of talking. But Alec Leonard had he's in the chat. He asked something. First round draft pick prediction.
Offensive tackle. Whether it be Neal, I hope it's Evan Neal from Alabama. We got to go get him, man. You can't keep dancing around one of the main priorities for years. Like I told Anthony, I use this phrase all the time, man. You can't get slashed by you can't have your arm slashed off by a katana. So here's a Band-Aid and put it on there and expect for it to be all better. It don't work like that. You can't keep running away from something that keeps puking at you on TV. It's screaming, help me. And offensive tackle, Evan Neal, that's my guy. That's who I want. I'm not an Alabama guy. I'm an LSU guy. But shout out to Cal, man. I agree. I would ride to the end of the earth to say Evan Neal. So Evan Neal, first pick. And I tell you what, Anthony, if we get Evan Neal with our first pick, we can shift Freddie Christian over to left guard. He's been okay there. Then we're just going to have to assess the center position. And we can I like what I saw out of Deontay Brown today, man. I really did. We saw very little of him. I don't know the issue of why he's not playing, but I think he could be really good. He's a big guy. I think he's like 350. 6'3", 6'4", 350. I saw him moving some people today, so that's my first pick. But go ahead, sir. Yours.
The same. I think you were talking about his offensive lineman at NC State. That big guy.
I forgot his name. Yeah, he's a really good ball player too.
People are probably gonna laugh at me, but playing a little bit of Madden, and I was creating like an all-star, like an all-time team on the Panthers. So I made Steve Smith, Julius Peart, you named it. Each position I went by and made these people. Yep. So, and I realized, I was like, man, there's a lot of North Carolina people. And then I started looking at other teams, and so a lot of times you get local people for the local teams. It's weird how that works out. And Philly has a lot of Pennsylvania people, went to Pennsylvania and stayed, ended up playing for the Eagles. A lot of North Carolina people coming in, played for a North Carolina team. Not always, but sometimes. And when you play for the local team, you play better. You play with more pride. So that was what I was saying about drafting a local guy, an NC State guy. I think the morale just, man, I mean, imagine if you got drafted by the Panthers, you being from Fayetteville, from North Carolina, went to North Carolina and whatnot,
absolutely,
and then you got drafted by the Panthers. Yeah, so
That's one unfortunate thing about Sam Howell not having a good season, man. He could have had a Heisman Trophy winning season. He's from Indian, North Carolina. Went to Carolina.
Yep.
I mean,
could be if he played out insane. If he would have played great, which not everything's his fault because we watched him in person. We went to a Tar Heel football game this year, and it was like, man. And but had he played safe, he could be drafted by the Panthers with the situation we're in. So yeah, Alec just said a local great. So yeah, he gets my drift in terms of drafted local. Now I'm not trying to. Yeah, exactly. Everybody that plays here, comes here, lives here, they love the city of Charlotte, man. I'm glad that we decided. South Carolina might be a little bitter about that, but in terms of big cities, Charlotte just where it's at.
It's growing. Yeah, it's growing, man.
Yeah, and it's growing. Yeah, and so that's great, man. But yeah, that's draft predictions for me and Donnie. Sure. Any other questions or calling in to make a comment? Please do. We'll be on here probably maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. See what everybody's doing. See what everyone's saying. Any kind of questions, comments, concerns? There's a lot of concerns.
So many.
Yeah, please do call in. As you can see, we have one caller already. Yeah, it was easy. You called in, answered, and got you into the meeting, and say whatever.
Again, shout out Nelly, man. He was the first ever caller, man.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I'm bad with names and I'm bad with faces sometimes, and I'm getting old. What was he at your graduation party?
Yeah, I think Nelly was at my graduation party. Yep.
Was he on our team, other team? We play football in Donnie's front yard, so
can't remember. I know he was the official one time for one of my events. You remember
that? Yeah, that sounds.
I was like, it was like my I think I was turning 17, and like Nelly was there, and he was throwing flags and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I do kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alec also asked future coaching, any prospects? I think Donnie, you talked about that a little bit earlier. With the
Matt Rhule,
offensive coordinator positions.
Well, hypothetically speaking, if Matt Rhule were to be fired, now I don't know if he's made an offensive coordinator, but if he's going head coach, if Matt Rhule were to, lose his job today, I'd say, okay, there's two guys that pop out right now that are it's Doug Peterson and Jim Caldwell. Doug Peterson led the Eagles to Super Bowl in his second year there with Carson Wentz in his second year. I mean, and then put together a mastermind game plan to help Nick Foles win that Super Bowl and win those playoff games. I mean, Frank Wright too. That kind of helps prove my point. He brings in a personnel and a staff that is fit to coach football. They ain't his best buddies from down the road. They went to high school together. They shot on the same basketball goal. Their mom called them in for lunch. They ate lunch together. None of that. Okay, he makes personnel. And then Jim Caldwell, phenomenal coach. I think he was with Dungy when Peyton Manning was there. He's coached some of the great quarterbacks in his time. He coached Matt Stafford. The Detroit Lions were a playoff contender team when he was there, and that was the last time they went to the playoffs. So shout out Jim Caldwell. So that's someone who I want, man, a true team builder. But before coming out today, offensive coordinator. The only offensive coordinator I see fit is Kevin O'Connell from the Rams. They've been explosive this year. They made plays all year long. So that's the only kind of thing, because Bill O'Brien, he's had some bad blood in the NFL. He left on bad terms. I don't want Jay Gruden. I'm sorry, I just don't. So yeah, Kevin O'Connell for offensive coordinator, but the two head coaching candidates, if Matt Rhule were to lose his job, Jim Caldwell and Doug Peterson for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and who would you? Yeah, of course, someone's going to have to take over if Matt Rhule were fired today. Well, in the middle of the season, because today we'd have time to get a coach. But if in the middle of the season, I'm coming to you, Alec. I see your question. If he was fired right in the middle of the season, who takes over as head coach right away?
Phil Snow. Phil Snow.
I agree.
Phil Snow.
Phil Snow. He's that hard. He's got a little bit of a new. He's got his his fingerprints on new philosophies in the NFL, and he's also an old school coach. And he was in there working out with the players, and he's old and not old, but he's when you're his age, you can just tell he's got the miles and.
He's about 60. I think he's almost in the 70s.
I could see him working out in the CJ Fletcher, all jacked up. The gym, the CT Fletcher, CT Fletcher's gym.
Still your set.
All that, his equipment is all broken down and old, and that's the kind of gym you want to work out in when you're a bodybuilder like him.
Yes,
and
sir.
I could see Phil Snow in there working out. I agree.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, Phil Snow for sure. Alex said it's not Panther related, but that's okay. Quick playoff prediction as well. I don't the playoffs. I don't know if we're still waiting on like the final finale, but the big seeds are in now. So yeah, playoff prediction. What you got, sir?
Man, I think in NFC is going to come down to the. I don't want to count Tom Brady out, man. The Rams are looking really, really good. Be pretty cool in the NFC to see the Rams go against the Packers in the NFC Championship game. AFC, not sure. I haven't watched too much of the AFC. Are the Chargers in the hunt? I think the Chargers might be a dark horse, man.
So I'm getting ready to look
Chargers
up here.
Chargers might be a dark horse.
Trying to see what the playoff picture looks like as of now.
Honestly, though, Super Bowl winner, I either go the Packers or the Rams. Those are just two that I just think that right now they're just prepped and ready to go make a run. They got the personnel, they got the coaching. I mean, so do the Bucs. The Buccaneers is going to be kind of interesting how they accommodate with the injuries on the offensive side of the ball. They're pretty banged. And on the defense side, they're banged up, man. Banged up.
Yeah. So I think tonight there's some. The NFC is set. Number 1 seed is Green Bay. Number 2, Tampa. Number 3, Cowboys. 4, Rams. 5, Arizona. 6, 49ers. 7, Eagles. So that's from the NFC. The AFC is Titans, Chiefs,
I think
Bills.
the Titans are up there, right? Yes, sir.
Yeah, number 1 seed. Chiefs, number 2, Bills, Bengals, Patriots. In the hunt right now is the Chargers and the Raiders. On the bubble is the Steelers. And that's it so far. So far,
I think the biggest threats AFC, the Titans might be a dark horse.
Yeah. Basically, it's probably going to be. So, looks like clinched already is the Titans, the Chiefs, the Bills, Bengals, and Patriots. So, it's going to go between the 2 remaining spots for the AFC is the Chargers, the Raiders, or the Steelers. Probably, I'm guessing. Well, they're playing each other, so I guess. I'm not sure what has to happen. I have to look up. Look at what the remaining scenario is, but I think can the Cowboys get it done? For some reason I've just been thinking the Cowboys are not half bad. Prescott is playing outside his mind. I love that corner Diggs for Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's been playing great. Will it take one team or one great game plan to beat them? I'm not sure. That's the thing about NFL.
They have really good coaching too. Like Dan Quinn is their defensive coordinator. Phenomenal way he's been able to do with the defense. Michael Parsons playing at all pro level. Diggs. And I think they just got DeMarcus Lawrence back as of like a week or 2 ago, man. That Cowboys team is prepped and ready to go. And there's no disrespect to Alec. The Packers and the Rams are playing like just out of their minds, man. They have so many offensive weapons.
Whoever comes out of the NFC probably will be your Super Bowl champion because they're so stacked. Packers, Bucks, Cowboys, Rams, even the Cardinals.
NFC stacked.
Niners, Eagles. But of course I say that and then watch the AFC team will come out of left field.
Yeah, absolutely.
The freaking Bengals will play better than they've ever played in their entire career.
The Bengals are a dark horse, man.
They are, yeah. So, but yeah. Of course, Baltimore. It was close. A lot of things had to happen for Baltimore. I was watching that game earlier. That's my secondary team. My wife was from Baltimore, born and raised in the city of Baltimore. So, and before I even met her, I was such a big Ray Lewis fan that I ended up before I even met her, I kind of adopted the Ravens, and then my stepmother got married and met and married my father. She was from Baltimore. Long story short, I met my wife, and she's from Baltimore, so close. But they could be something next year as well because they 5 out of their last 6 losses were 3 points or less. And a couple of those games, Lamar wasn't behind center. And a couple of those games, they went for the win instead of the tie, and they ended up paying for it. But so they can
2 season defining plays. Yeah, I was gonna say, I love Ray Lewis, and but one of my favorite running backs of all time behind Christian McCaffrey and Chris Johnson. Actually, I say Christian McCaffrey and then Jamal Lewis from the Ravens. That when I was little, I just remember seeing Jamal Lewis just bomb. He's just this 230-pound dude, don't need no gloves, just running physical. Yeah. He was the man. Man. He was the man.
I seen him in person. We went to a Panthers Ravens game years ago when he was still playing, and in person he is a big young man. Then,
probably still. I seen the video. He's still big, man.
Yeah, for sure. We Mick Mixon in the chat said, "Excellent show tonight, fellas. Keep pounding." And by Mick Mixon, I mean who, Donnie?
Christopher Fan.
Yes.
Shout out Chris Fan, man.
There's no secret with that last name. He is kin to me. So yeah, my father also looks like Mick Mixon. Donnie says so.
Yeah, like you said, Mr. Chris, that is a compliment. Mick Mixon is a stud. He is about as dapper as they come, man. That's a compliment. Shout out to Mr. Chris Fan. Hey, Chris Fan, a man of few words, but a goat. He doesn't need to say anything. He's a man of few words. He's a goat. Believe me when I say it. I put a stamp on that statement.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
And then my wife jumps in and she says, "Do not remind her of the Ravens." She's still mad. So
Samantha, I love you. I want to let you know that like I was telling you, things could be a lot worse. You could only have 5 of those bad boys and lose. I think 6 or 7 of them at home. I think it was 6 we finally lost at home. I feel your pain, bro.
You could have our problems, which is a bad problem to have.
So many.
If it ever came down to a Panthers Ravens Super Bowl, boy, oh boy.
I don't
know.
Also divided. I know what you'll be doing. I don't know. Hey, listen. I don't know who's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Mario Yamasaki. I don't know if it's going to be Dan Mergley out of Herbie. Hey, you better get a UFC official in there. Hey, Samantha's going to be coming and fake takedown overhands. Shout out to Samantha Fan.
Sure. Alec also said he's been a big supporter. We appreciate it, man. Longtime friend, Alec Leonard in the chat.
Thank you. Much love, man.
I've known him just as long as I've known Donnie.
I've always been attached to the hip.
Yeah, sure. And a good high school linebacker when he played. I've seen him play in person. Very good.
Alec Leonard.
He says, "Love the show, guys." Thanks, sir. Any chance we'll get this after each playoff week? We will. I did say that earlier. We plan on doing maybe not a live. We'll probably do a live once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe once every 5 to 6
some pre-recorded stuff. Yeah.
But every week it'll be some pre-recorded stuff, and then we'll try to go live every maybe 5 to 6 weeks. We may even go live right before Super Bowl or something. We'll see. We'll talk about it. But yeah, we're going to keep giving y'all stuff, film breakdowns. We're still trying to work out the logistics of that and how we're going to do film breakdowns because the copyrights of using NFL films and stuff.
Yeah, they don't play it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. We'll have to figure out how to do this. Like some more lives. Every week could be something. For people.
There's a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot to vent about.
For sure. So, Super Bowl at our house if there's ever a Ravens-Panthers matchup. That's what my wife said. The next time the Panthers are in the Super Bowl, we're going to Charlotte. So you can sit here by yourself.
Listen here. like I've always told you, I'm going to save up my sick days. I'm going to save up everything because if we win a Super Bowl, I'm going to spend it all week in Charlotte. All week.
Yeah.
All week in Charlotte.
Yeah. Here's another thing that me and Donnie are going to try to do, so you guys keep a lookout for that, is for our new tradition is to try to go to an away game. At least one, probably just one away game every season. So they just announced opponents for us, and we're narrowing it down to who we can go to. But we're going to try, because we want to, at the end of the day, we're Panthers fans, number one. but we are big NFL football fans, and we would love to visit other stadiums and do that kind of thing. So me and Donnie are going to try to make it a tradition for me and him to go to an away game.
Yep.
And we've already talked about maybe an LA appearance for the LA Rams.
Man, gotta have some dudes from Fayetteville, North Carolina hit up LA, man. I've always wanted to go to the West Coast. Love the West Coast.
Yeah.
Love the West Coast culture, man. West Coast hip lock, West Coast pop lock. Favorite rapper ever. Love the West Coast. Love the West Coast.
We'll have to move at a very fast pace through Compton, but those are still it's probably a tourist spot at this point with the name that Compton has. I'm not sure, I don't know, I can't say, but we'll see. We can end up anywhere. So, but we've talked about it. Once it gets closer to us deciding that, we may have to put up the Cash App and so people have to donate to our trip, man, because we've already kind of looked at plane tickets and stuff, and wow,
pockets are going to get their rump beat.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it, man. It'll be a freaking experience.
Yeah, definitely,
never forget.
Definitely.
$5 billion stadium.
I lost it.
Yeah,
beautiful stadium.
Yeah. Shout out to a friend of mine, Scott Sintel, just had lunch with yesterday. He's a big Rams fan. I said, hey, you should tag along with us. So, yeah, man. Good stuff. Hey, we kind of touched on everything. I'll give everyone like a minute or two warning for any kind of last second phone calls. You want to call in? If you want to call in, just ask a question and hang up and listen to us on your mobile device or answer. Or if you want to call in and say anything, that's fine too. Or if you ask a question in the chat, that's fine as well. Again, we appreciate we had one call earlier. We really appreciate that. I'll never forget who called us. Who was our very first caller. I'll never forget who that was. So I really appreciate Donnell, correct? Is his name right?
Donnell Kahili,
yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that. It means quite a lot to.
Thank you, Donnell. Definitely. Thank you so much, man. All love and support. Thank you, KP. Thank you, my man Cal, my man Alec, my man KP, my man Cal, my man Alec, my man Donnell, my man Anthony. Look, man, we're grateful. Especially, I'm very grateful, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Had a lot of people, come up to me, man. I'm happy, man. I happily subscribe. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot.
Yeah.
It means something to me,
Yeah. We see every like, we see every comment, we see every. Yeah, we even text each other. Oh, no like, and I know we're kind of tripping over 50 likes, but that's one more like that we didn't have, and
absolutely, yeah.
We do appreciate it. You guys start somewhere. Like the opening statement I said, the great J. Cole, where he came from, Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther actor from South Carolina, of course, Michael Jordan, his story. They all started somewhere. So, and no matter what, we couldn't get another like, another share, another comment, and we're still going to do this because we're that big.
Yeah, for sure.
We're that big of a Panthers fan. So me and Donnie still have to kind of talk, but I get you could probably expect us again. We'll put out another video Sunday. It won't be live. We're not going to go live all the time just because we don't want to kill, we don't want to make it a what do you call? What's the word?
The vibe, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we don't want to wear out our liveness. Yeah, so because then we go live too much.
You don't want to be that annoying page. Yeah, you don't want to be that annoying page.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bless, you're going live again for what, man?
Yeah, exactly. We don't. Which some people will probably say, no, you need to put out product, which we will, but we want our lives to be special. We want everybody to be ready. Oh, we're going live. We got to tune in, so that kind of thing. But yeah, our next video will probably be something pre-recorded. We'll be talking more Panther football, even on the off season. It didn't end well, and in the off season, we're going to still keep Panther football alive, and there's still things that will happen in the off season that we'll keep in touch. Of course, Alec had to put in "Go Cowboys" in there. So, but hey, I'm not going to root for them. But hey, I wish them well in the playoffs. How about that? I'll say that.
Absolutely, yeah. They're there or not.
And they could do it. They could do it. They look well.
Continue to do it.
Yeah, and this would be the year to do it. So, and what a good comeback story for Prescott. So, was it last year he got hurt?
Yeah, it was last year. Yep.
So this is his comeback.
Yep.
Yeah, so that'd be good to see him come back. And Cowboys been close for a Super Bowl, and they've
been
short.
I think it was in 14. The whole Des Brown thing, they came close. I mean, that was technically a touchdown, but
yeah.
Nah, man, this is the year to do it. I mean, got the right coaching, got the right personnel. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're hoping the best, man. Won't be rooting because it's not my team, but hey, shout out. Football goes well in the playoffs. Y'all already over 9, so I'm not gonna hate.
Yeah, good for you if they do. Good for you. So, all right, shutting the phone line down right now. And hey, that's it, man. Donnie, I want to thank you for doing this with me, man. We were both nervous. We were both excited, nervous, everything.
Sure,
and we wanted to do it.
Thank
we
you,
finally
bro,
did it. We
and
your insight, everything. There's only one person I would have done this with, fellow Panther fan that has the knowledge that you do. And hey, I appreciate it. That's why I chose you as my co-host. So,
nah, man. But hey, look, special shout out to Anthony, man, for doing all the logistics and all the tough work. He does all the technological stuff. Very smart guy. A lot of the graphics stuff you see, you thank Anthony for that. From the music, from the videos to he does a lot of the publicizing of things too. So, hey, man, I guess you're Batman. I'm Robin. Hey, I'm happy to be. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to do it for Robin. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been cool, man. So hey, no matter what, man, it's gonna suck from here until September.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can have a little bit of closure come drive time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So see what kind of holes we fill.
Yeah, we won't see another Panther hit the field until the Pro Bowl. But we really won't see the Panthers play again until around September. So it's going to be a long.
Not even a preseason. I want to see a regular season snap.
Yeah, regular season. Yeah. So it's going to be a little while before we see Panthers again.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what happens in the off season. We'll be here every step of the way this off season. Myself and Donnie. Tune into Donnie Anthony Show. Hey, on Facebook, we are the Donnie Anthony Show. Give us a like. Now we're going to start really updating. We kind of left you guys dry for a while, but that was because we were preparing for today. After today, we're going to boom, 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 everything. And always posting, always interact with us. Don't be afraid to interact with us and ask us questions on everything.
Yeah.
Facebook, the Donnie Anthony Show, Twitter, and Instagram, both the same username at Don Ant Show. See it at the bottom of your screen. And right now, you're watching us on YouTube, the Donnie Anthony Show. Subscribe, turn on notifications for when we post new ones and we go live. Hey, there's 2 words that me and Donnie live by, that the Panthers live by, that we will always say. It'll be on our freaking tombstones when we go on the ground. And it's in the inside of every collar of every Panther jersey. What are those 2 words, Donnie?
Keep pounding.
Always. Keep pounding, man. Hey, we'll see y'all on the flip side.
God bless.